In this video, we are reacting to Dave, Mr. Dave from Fresh Baked. We are reacting to one of his videos he did recently. Great video, The State of Universal Studios Hollywood. He kind of breaks down the crowds and what have you. We're going to react to some of that video today. I got Mr. Theme Park Conductor with me. Let's go. Welcome aboard, everybody, to another episode of OG55.
Young blow, but I'm built like an OG.
There we go, OG. We are talking all today about Universal. Dave, Mr. Fresh Baked, released a really good video on the state of that park. We're going to break down some of that video today and talk about it. Before we do, though, Conductor, welcome back, sir.
Glad to be back. It's always an honor to be on your show. So I'm welcome back with open arms, and you're always welcome on my lives.
Absolutely. Yeah, actually, I would love to do that. We should do a live on your channel one day. That'd be fun, dude.
Absolutely.
That'd be fun. But if you could let everybody know where they can find you on YouTube and all that good stuff.
Sure. So on YouTube, you can find me at Theme Park Conductor. On Twitter, you can find me at Theme Conductor. And on Instagram, you can find me at Theme Park Conductor, conducting and steaming up that hot, juicy news for you.
There it is. And hold on, since you're doing the whole train thing.
Nothing can stop us now.
There we go. Oh, and we even have a, should we do a track switch too? I mean, we got that one.
Sure.
Oh no, I must have hit that track switch.
There we go,
Oh,
Mr. Theme Park Conductor. There we go.
Perfect.
And at the end of this video, I'm actually going to link his latest Conductor Thursday show at the end of this video. So make sure you stick around for that. Great content. So here we go. This is courtesy of Mr. Dave from Fresh Baked. Give me just a second here. Let me just go ahead and make sure we got that. Okay. So Mr. Dave from Fresh Baked, we're going to go ahead and play this part, and we're going to kind of talk about it. Now, Conductor, we've never done a reaction video together, I don't believe. So if there's any part of this where you want to chime in and say something, just say, hey, OG, can you pause it? Not a problem.
Sure.
So just let me know.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, thank you all for celebrating 60 years of the studio tour with us.
Now, by the way, the 60th anniversary studio tour is absolutely fantastic. We did it with Wizard and George and Michael Webba recently. It's honestly, would you agree, Conductor? The tour has never been better. I mean, it really is awesome.
Oh, no. I 100% agree with you. It was so the other night when Universal hosted the takeover event for AP members, what AP stands for is annual pass holders. I was able to do it before Wizard showed up and Mr. Webba. And it was my first time because before that, I wasn't at the theme parks until before they readjust the studio tour. So I was absolutely amazed. For someone that is I wouldn't say a hardcore Universal fan, but kind of leaning that way, I was blown away.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah, I mean, and the cool thing too is, like, I guess the studio tour, like way back in the day, you would get out of the tram and walk around on the sets, and they got rid of that a long time ago. I don't remember ever doing that in all my years going to Universal, but they brought that element of it back just for the 60th anniversary. Really, really cool stuff. I've said it a lot. The tram tour is my absolute favorite thing at Universal. It's very unique to this park. It's awesome. The 60th anniversary tram tour is amazing. The only flaw in the 60th anniversary tram tour is Supercharged, but we'll forgive them for that because I think that's on its way out soon. So.
I hope so.
Yeah, from your lips to God's ears.
Yeah.
Right. They've got a tip board right here, don't they? Harry Potter is now at 10 minutes. Hippogriff is 5, so it's gone down. The times have gone down. I thought they would have gone up. But Pets is at 45. Despicable Me 15. Simpsons is still at 25. Oh, here we go. We're going to Lower Lot next. Mario Kart is just an hour.
So I want to stop
Jurassic
the video
World.
just for a second.
Sure.
So my concern is when Fresh Baked, he's showing the wait times for all the Harry Potter attractions. This is what scares me, because I've gotten a lot of criticism, and again, like I talked about in your last video with George and Webba, I said everyone's entitled to their opinion. I'm not dissing that. Everyone's going to have a different opinion about whatever's going on, whatever they're experiencing. But I kind of feel that's why Orlando back in 2014 got Diagon Alley and we did not. And now that the conversation has come up again, all these years later, for possibly bringing Diagon Alley, or even possibly bringing the Ministry of Magic, which Epic Universe is getting, could we see either one of those come to the Hollywood Park? Because it's already well known, thanks to Theme Park Wizard, he's on top of putting permits and stuff like that out on his Discord and even YouTube a little bit. It's been
and make
about.
sure, and not to interrupt you, but yeah, make sure you subscribe to Theme Park Wizard. If you're a Universal fan, you will love Wizard's content. He is like all in on Universal, so he does great stuff. And like Conductor said, he gets into the permits, he breaks everything down. So make sure you check it out. Go ahead, Conductor. I do apologize, brother.
Yeah, no worries. So it's already a well-known fact, and Theme Park Wizard pointed out that this studio tour area is going to be relocated. And there is actual physical evidence of that already starting construction. If you go down to the lower lot and you go into the queue of the Mummy, just before you go inside the show building, off to the very far right side, there's this brick wall right there. You have all these iron beams already being placed. Supposedly, that is where it's rumored to relocate. And back in the early days of Universal, they used to have the studio tour on the lower lot. And supposedly it was in the extended queue of what it was back then, Jurassic Park. Now it's Jurassic World. But that whole extended queue area was the loading station for the studio tour, I believe, back in the early days. And then it got moved up to the upstairs, and now it's getting considered to be moved down to the lower lot. And by them doing that, it makes me really wonder if they possibly could be bringing the Hogwarts Express to that area of the studio tour. And whether it's going to be the Hogwarts Express is one question. The second question I have is, are we getting Diagon Alley? Are we getting the Ministry of Magic? Or are we not getting any Harry Potter extension whatsoever? It could be totally something different.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to ask you this, and Dave kind of questions it too as we move forward. But one thing that I'm curious about, and again, I want to be completely fair here, because a lot of people will do this to Disney, where they'll be like, judging a snapshot and kind of trying to make a broader statement. But with that said, with a huge caveat, grain of salt, it is interesting, and Dave mentions this. You have the Harry Potter stuff is like, I mean, Forbidden Journey is 10 minutes, but then you have Secret Life of Pets, 45. You literally have Kung Fu Panda. The Kung Fu Panda 3D show is the same wait time as Forbidden Journey. That's weird, right? Like, what do you think is happening here, Conductor? Is it just an off day? Is it just a weird moment in time where this happened to be the case, and it's not indicative of any other issue? Is Potter as a franchise waning? What do you make of that, in your opinion?
So it could be a number of things. It could be the fact that Harry Potter could be leaning. It could be the fact that when Fresh Baked was shooting this video, that it could have been on a Saturday or a Sunday, because Universal is known to close early on those days. It could have been that, because, especially on the Sunday, everyone has to go to work and school on Monday. So, the wait times could be affected. Obviously, it's 4/22. Usually on the weekends, the park will close around 6 o'clock, maybe 6:30. So this is not, a horrible thing, but it does raise an eyebrow to, okay, well, if you're saying Kung Fu Panda, which is a motion simulator, and you got Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, which is more of it is a
E-ticket.
motion, an e-ticket attraction. They're both 10 minutes. It kind of does raise the eyebrow. Is Universal really going to invest in bringing another Harry Potter based land to Hollywood? Because Hollywood, compared to Orlando, like we talked in your last video, Hollywood's park is landlocked. They have to be very careful on what they bring to that park. Just the same thing with Disneyland and Walt Disney World. Walt Disney World has, all this land to build stuff, make mistakes, and then redo it. Disneyland doesn't have that opportunity. Same thing with Universal Hollywood. Whatever they bring, they have to make sure that it's going to, be loved, because it might not be replaced for decades.
They're low on space. It's
Exactly.
probably even a little worse here in Hollywood than even Disneyland,
Yeah.
30, we can probably do Express on that. I might enjoy that for a minute. Transformers 40. So the lower lot is doing numbers. Even the Mummy ride as well at 20. That's not great. Trying to decipher what that means, that the queue or the ride with the longest wait in the upper lot is Pets, the attraction that actually has the most efficient.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, and again, we're taking a snapshot. So I just want to say, like, if he's asking the question, I'm gonna answer my idea as to a possibility as to why Pets is so high.
Sure.
The thing is I think a lot of and I've said this before, those Potter rides, like the Forbidden Journey, it's not a roller coaster.
No.
But it is very thrilling. Like I said, I don't personally I like the attraction, but for me personally, I'm claustrophobic, so I avoid it, right?
Yeah.
But even someone who's motion sick, or your 85-year-old grandma who's got a heart condition or something, it's thrilling enough where those people can't go on it. It's not an everybody attraction. It's not, Pirates. It's not like something where everybody can ride it,
Sure.
So I think with Pets, which is an everybody attraction, like everyone can ride Pets. Okay. That's a very basic, very, easy kind of dark ride. I think that what you're seeing there is that element of it here, where that ride Pets is easily, what's the word for it? There's very few people that can't ride that, so it's going to have those long wait times. Where Harry Potter is like, well, there's that thrill element in there. It's a little claustrophobic. There's issues here and there with certain people getting on that thing. I think that's holding back the Potter ride a little bit. And again, we're taking one snapshot from one time of the day on this random day that he went. But if he's asking that question, why Pets over Harry Potter, that's my guess, because Pets is for everybody. And I think Potter is a little bit on the thrill side. But what do you think, Conductor?
So I think exactly the same thing, because again, Pets can pretty much accommodate everybody, with a few limitations, but it can accommodate everybody. The Potter ride, whether it's the little mini roller coaster or it's Forbidden Journey, not everyone can ride that because of motion sickness, like your issue, claustrophobia, the fact that there has been times that the ride will break down, and let's say you're riding Forbidden Journey and the arm's like stuck like this and you're kind of like looking at the ceiling. It's kind of annoying. But I'm not going to discount them possibly bringing more Potter to Hollywood. The only reason I say that is, how can I put it? I don't think the whole Wizarding World is done with Hollywood. The reason why I say that is the fact that we got the outdoor locker situation, which I covered a little bit with Webba when I was at the AP takeover night the other night with him and Theme Park Wizard. The aesthetics of the outdoor lockers, even though Orlando's had it for several years now, it looked, you could tell they didn't cheap out on it. With one exception, the lockers themselves, a lot of them are smaller than other lockers, but the bonus of that is we don't have the fingerprint scanners. We don't have to do that. Not with those lockers. So the fact that they did that, then with the stage that they have there for the several different shows that they do with the singing frogs, and then you got the Victor Crumb show. The fact that they spent all that money redoing that stage, and then on top of that, you got you got the new ice cream shop that has been exclusive to Diagon Alley since it was built, and we just got that. So I want to keep my hopes up, and I said it during my live stream, and I've said it in previous videos when I'm at Universal. I said I don't like to shut the door, especially when I'm seeing stuff come to the park that another version of it in a different park has had for years. Now, again, it's not a massive expansion, but the fact that they're adding money to it makes me believe that the door is not closed.
It's not closed. And the fact that they're building the Ministry of Magic thing over at Epic Universe says they're very bullish on Harry Potter still. Yeah. Very, very bullish on it, you know? So, yeah, I would agree with you. There's a possibility we get a Diagon Alley. Maybe we'll get the Ministry of Magic that the Epic Universe is getting. You know, there could be, you know, they have options. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we'll get an original land for Potter. I think that they will probably clone one of those two. Yeah. Maybe they'll wait and see how Ministry of Magic and that attraction kind of resonates with guests.
I do agree. I do agree, though. We should get Hagrid's because that is a fan favorite in Universal Orlando. I think that's the one exception that we should get because the whole atmosphere of that ride, the immersion you feel. I think that ride is the only exception we should get almost the exact copy of.
If they could fit it,
yes,
I would do it.
But hey, to your favor though, Supercharged would have to go away, which I don't think you're opposed to.
No, please, by all means.
Queue of any of them, it's probably the highest ride capacity attraction in the park, has the highest wait time. I mean, Forbidden Journey has a pretty decent. That's a virtual Omnimover. Those vehicles just smooth right on through the station. So that doesn't. So you can get quite a few guests in there, but still, I would think that would be the attraction and have the highest wait. Do people not like Forbidden Journey more? I mean, clearly it's not as popular as it was back in the day, but that seems super light. 15 minutes, 10 minutes. Well, that was actually quite a bit better than I thought it was going to be. I thought they were just going to cut that scene completely. You know, the old Western scene in Mexico, etc. But they just rerouted you, which I kind of feel like that's better because that's the first time I've ever seen that trip down, that road down. That's a hairpin turn. I cannot believe they've been making that turn with those trams for 60 years. Have they really? That's wild.
Okay, to your point real quick, OG, so the only reason he mentions that, it was on Twitter, and I guess it was on our local news. There was a tram accident late at night. There were guests on the tram. It made that turn, and supposedly a mom and her kid fell out of the tram. I don't know how the hell that's even possible, but it happened because of that turn. So that's why nowadays when you watch any videos from Universal, and especially if they're filming on the tram, they're skipping for right now. They're skipping the picture car area. They're skipping the Jurassic Park area. But again, I don't know that for sure. I don't know if they want to chalk it up to the accident anymore. Maybe when it first happened, yes. But the former Fast and Furious attraction, that's right before you get to the Jurassic Park section of the tram, that's actually being themed to, I think, Jurassic World. It's getting painted, color-coded, so we could have another element to the studio tour, and maybe they're skipping that whole section right there because of that. So that could be another addition to the studio tour.
That's interesting. So when you say, okay, when you say the Fast and Furious, you mean not Supercharged?
So no. So it was the I don't know if you remember the dancing cars. Do you remember that? Yeah. And they're on the robot arms and all that, dancing around and with the music and all that. That area is getting turned into a Jurassic World, kind of like show area that the tram's going to drive through, supposedly, because the color scheme got painted. It says padlock area. It has all the theming elements of what you would see at Velocicoaster in Orlando, like just the paint scheme and everything.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
Actually, let's see if we can't peek around this corner. To look for a house over here at the weekend house. Yeah, we're not going to be able to see anything down here. But you're going to go all the way back there behind the Transformers building back there. I can't see nothing. The last couple of months, the last couple of trips through Super Nintendo World, I've been shocked by how uncrowded it is. I guess
now we talked about this.
Sure.
I believe it was on your Conductor Thursdays. You mentioned this,
Sure.
I believe.
Yeah.
Where you were saying that Universal needs to quickly sort of build on that momentum of Super Nintendo World. Now, what's interesting here is that Dave from Fresh Baked is saying the last several times he's gone, Nintendo World has been pretty uncrowded, is how he referred to it, right?
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing, and he mentions it in the video, but the land is very small. There really isn't a whole lot to do. I mean, there really isn't. There's some games, mini games, and then there's the Mario Kart ride. Now, I love Mario Kart. I've said it many times on the channel. I thought it's a really, really cute dark ride. Is it an e-ticket though? Is it a Spider-Man at IOA or an Indiana Jones adventure or Rise of the Resistance? Not even close. You know what I'm saying?
I think I would give it maybe a D ticket. Maybe.
Yes. Oh, that's fair. I think a D ticket is probably maybe even D plus. I think that's a fair assessment. But it's interesting that maybe I wonder. And I've been hearing this too. I saw a Universal cast member, I believe he is, on Twitter saying that the attendance has been lighter lately. And that kind of tracks with what Dave is saying here. It's it seems like everyone sort of went for this Nintendo rush, when it opened. And then after experiencing it, it was kind of like, okay, it's cute, but do we really need to go back over and over again? Nah, it's okay. We'll wait. Do you see some of that happening here, or am I off base for that?
No, you're not off base. I've noticed it as well. I've noticed because Universal, and I'm sure because here in Hollywood they offer an early entry, so you can pay. I think it's anywhere from $10 to $25, and you get I think it's an hour and 20 minutes before the park opens to the general public. You can go experience Nintendo. I'm not seeing that sell out anymore. It's becoming more available. I've noticed the last couple times myself going into the land that not all the reservations are gone for Toadstool. I've noticed that. The one thing I have noticed they have been working on is up there in the ice area on the second level. They have a section of that ice area closed off. Now, supposedly the growing rumor is, and Theme Park Wizard, again, I'm going to reference him, he posted that, I think on one of his videos, if not a permit, that we are supposedly getting a little element that Japan's version has in that area. So that is, again, it is referencing something where they're basically saying, I'm not done with Nintendo. This is not all that's going to be, put into the Hollywood version. Now, like I said in my live stream on Conductor Thursdays, I said, coinciding with Fresh Baked, I said, well, the thing is, we can't just have this land. It's not possible. First of all, we have the smallest land out of the three. Obviously, Orlando's is going to be the biggest out of the three, because they have Donkey Kong, they have the space to add a couple little other things that both us, Hollywood, and Japan's not going to have in their Nintendo. Now, I pointed it out many, many, many times that a friend that you have, OG. He's no longer on Twitter. I don't know if he disappeared or whatnot, but he was like our version of Bio Reconstruct. He did a lot of drone shots, and he even mentioned at one point that there's two different areas where a Donkey Kong themed expansion would go in Hollywoods. Right. And I've always said, as David's walking towards the Mario Kart ride, which is in the Mount Themepole area, before you get to that area and you go left, there's these colored blocks and whatnot. Obviously, that's a backstage area, but a lot of us, including myself, think that could be a future gate for a future expansion, whether it's Donkey Kong, whether it's Pokemon, or like me and Webba were talking about, like a Luigi's Mansion, Haunted Mansion type land, or maybe even a Zelda or something else. My thing is, though, and a lot of people give me criticism over it. Well, you guys just want Donkey Kong so bad. I'm like, yes, we do. But again, like I said in your other video, if they bring a copy of it, of, Donkey Kong, they've already said if they do, ours is going to be more superior than Japan's, maybe even to the same level as Orlando's version. And we can add elements, we can add different stuff to kind of customize it where it's unique and exclusive only to Hollywood. So that way you can't just, I'm just going to watch a video on it and be satisfied. No, you're going to get the jitterbugs going and say, no, I need to book a flight out there and I need to go experience that.
They need, absolutely. And they need to do something like that, whether it's that or whether it is Luigi's Mansion. I think Luigi's Mansion would be a great addition to this land. Have it be a Hollywood exclusive. The fact that Dave is saying that this land has been light is really concerning because the land is small. It doesn't take too many people to make it look full. No. So if it's looking light with being this small, then it's really, really light. And I got to say, like a land that opened around the same time, well, not really a new land, but a refurbished, renovated, reimagined land was Toontown. Yeah. And Toontown has not seen the crowds in that land let up. Now, to be fair, though, Toontown has a lot more attractions. They got the Go Coaster. They have even like the Mickey and Minnie's house. They have Cartoon Spin. So there's a lot more going on there, but it's been consistently busy since they reimagined it. And what we're seeing here with this, it hasn't been. So Universal needs to address this. I agree with you. I agree that they need to put something in here. It would preferably be some sort of Hollywood exclusive. I would love to see Luigi's Mansion. I mean, that would be my preference. But if they wanted to give us an altered, reimagined or different version of Donkey Kong, bring that too. But it needs it after a year and some change out. And if what Dave is saying is true, where it's like it's been pretty low on the crowding, that's not good. They need to build on this,
it's still uncrowded, but I'm not shocked anymore. It's no longer a surprise. But this, just like last time, is about as quiet as I've ever seen this place. As unbusy. Not much happening in here, comparatively speaking.
Yeah.
Dude, I wonder, can I just walk in? The man just said that they're accepting walk-ins?
Yeah, because currently right now we're a bit slowed down, so we are accepting walk-ins right now.
Can I walk in now?
Walk in a Toadstool.
What is happening?
Yeah, I mean that's unusual. I mean, they require reservations, and they have required reservations since it opened. And for him to be able to just walk in there, that's a thing. I mean, that's wild to me. We're not in like mid February or something where it's like the off season. I don't know. That's crazy. Have you ever seen it like that, Conductor?
No, not for Toadstool. Every single time I've went, except for the last 2 times I went, and then I'm actually going this Thursday. I've never seen it like that. You've always had to get a reservation, or God forbid you would have to go in the morning and get the early access just to run down there to scan the little barcode. You can kind of see it to your right of the screen right there where it says join waitlist and it has a barcode.
Right.
You would have to scan that and then pick a designated time that you can go in and eat. So this is unusual for me.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. It seems like the demand or the crazy demand was very front loaded. It appears, and again, this is a snapshot, so we can't, I don't want to go too much in like the broader assumptions, but even Dave is pretty surprised, and so am I. This is kind of crazy.
Yeah,
they have the sign up still for the wait list. I'm not going to get anything because I've already eaten, but that is a shocking development. Look at that. There's just a handful of guests. I can just walk up and place an order.
And I will say, this is like one of my favorite dining experiences in any theme park. I absolutely loved Toadstool Cafe. The food is really good too, actually. I really like the desserts. The Luigi's, it's like a spicy chicken thing. It's fantastic, right? It's like a chicken, spicy chicken or whatever. The food's great.
I think my personal favorite, I have three personal favorites. So I usually get the mushroom soup, really good. I also get either the big Bowser meatball, which I know would entertain George.
The Italiano,
the Italiano, and then they have a beef short rib. So those three items right there. And to quote your point though, this restaurant here, you feel totally immersed, and that's what I like. I love this. You don't feel like you're at a theme park. You feel like you're actually in Nintendo. You don't feel like you're at Universal. That's what I love about this. So I give them an A++ for doing the design they did for Toadstool. Absolutely.
Oh, me too. Oh, it's fantastic. It's really an incredible experience. I love it.
And there are empty tables all over the place. You still have to check in here, I think, but there are people or tables open everywhere.
Okay, I want to ask you this, and this is we're gonna go to Speculation Town because this is interesting, and we're gonna go beyond Universal even. We're seeing entertainment cuts at Disneyland Resort. Now, I know there's the element of the unions, which is probably a big part of that whole equation. But we're not just seeing cuts in entertainment, to be fair, at Disney. We're seeing cuts in entertainment at Knott's as well. We're seeing cuts in entertainment, I believe, even in Hollywood Universal.
Yeah, we only have one show right now. That's Waterworld, and that's it.
So see what I'm saying? So these theme parks in Southern California are cutting back. We're seeing this at Universal, empty table at Toadstool, which is unusual. Do you think conductors, something's going on with the theme park market this summer? Are they kind of bracing for impact here or what?
Probably. I wouldn't doubt it. Like to your point though, with Disney with the unions, for all I know, Universal might be trying to unionize. I don't know. Who knows? But it's been speculated that Universal is considering either bringing new shows, like possibly, like for example, the Bourne Spectacular, or bringing back shows they used to have. Like, for example, I was talking to another content creator. His YouTube channel is Tommy Toon World. He just put out a video of Universal Unleashed. Basically, back in the 1990s, Universal Hollywood had, I think it was like a show about it was Universal Monsters, but it was like a rock and roll band, but it was themed to Universal Monsters, and apparently Japan still does that. So he was speculating, well, could it come to the new Monsters Land in Epic Universe? Or could we see that back at Hollywood? Or could we see it back at Hollywood at Halloween Horror Nights? But whatever the case might be, I think out of all the theme parks, I don't know about Knott's, but I could say Universal for sure. If they're not ready to build another land, another attraction, they have to bring more entertainment, because Waterworld and the little mini shows they have in Harry Potter and don't get me wrong. I think Universal, for right now, for it being a small theme park, they have plenty of guest interactions with characters, but that's not really a show. That's just an interaction. So you need an actual show where you're sitting down and you're watching a show for 20 minutes or 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Just Waterworld's not going to cut it.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah. Yep.
That might be the most shocking thing that I've seen at Universal Studios since they have opened this land. And I mean for the entire park. You can walk in, finally. So now you don't feel that pressure of like not being able to eat here. If I want to have a Mario meal, I could do that right now. I was just saying how they need to have something out there at Panda Express because there's too much demand. What is happening? And look at this. That's a whole lot of empty space on that floor right there. Nobody's anywhere to be seen in this zone. And look at this.
So that's kind of unheard of.
I want to see what the back.
So you said that's kind of unheard. Like, what is the wait time? Because I know I've waited like forever and a day in this queue, and it seems like the queue goes on forever. And it's an adorable queue. It's really cute, but it usually is.
Oh, absolutely. So usually the current wait time for Mario Kart is usually at the very least an hour. That's the bare minimum. So the fact that it's 45 minutes, because this is another people eater. It eats people like quickly. So, the fact that that's lower is interesting. And I didn't actually see that part where David was saying, like myself, not what you just showed, but the fact that you have that open area right there. I know they have to have a certain amount of open areas in an enclosed space, but you can add like another character there or something. That's a big open space right there just to leave vacant. Now, one thing I will post out is that when he was shooting the floor, it seems like they are paying attention to the floor. It seems like they are trying to keep that clean as much as possible.
It looked better.
Trying to, yeah.
Yeah, it looked better. It absolutely looked better.
We did this before. The last couple times we came through here, the back of the queue was up the stairs. I'm sure it'll be the case this time as well. Hey, hey, what's up? What's up? Thanks. Yeah, of course. There's not even. I don't even see people going up the stairs. There's people going in the queue right now, but oh, here we go. There's a couple there. We've seen this before. You know what we got to do is go up the stairs. We'll go out and to the right and go up the stairs and check that scene out. I'm gonna hope to do some sort of comparison because I feel like this is even less busy. And I remember saying last time that it wasn't that long ago that I thought there was no end in sight to the amount of demand that this place could withhold. But I feel like the lack of size, the lack of things to do here has finally caught up with Super Nintendo World. It's a one and done for a lot of folks, especially considering that the ride itself, the marquee attraction, Bowser's, whatever they call it, Bowser's Challenge, is kind of okay. It's not like the best.
And that's what we were saying. It's and that's the thing too. And that's one of my big criticism with Disney as well. The gimmicky stuff, like the interactive power bands and all that, they're kind of cool like one time.
Sure.
But that's not gonna keep people going back. That's not what people do on the regular. A lot. I mean, I bought a power band. I have the Yoshi one, and I used it probably once. A lot of people aren't utilizing that. What the tried and true thing that's gonna keep people in that land and keep it busy are great attractions. You got to build another attraction, and that's what it needs. It's just not enough. Mario Kart feels like a secondary thing. It doesn't feel like the main event. It feels like a smuggler's run. And now you have to build a Rise of the Resistance in there and really hit it home with the e-ticket. That's what it feels like to me. And that's why the crowds they're just not there. Toontown, you have more consistent crowding, I think, because you do have Mickey and Minnie is more of an e-ticket, I think, than Mario Kart.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's why the crowds have kind of maintained more in Toontown. And plus, to be fair, you have more attractions there too. So it's not exactly an apples to apples thing. But yeah, to close it out, Conductor, any final thoughts though? I mean, it is kind of interesting what he's saying here. And it's not just this visit. He said the last few times it's been like this, you know?
Yeah. So my closing thoughts are, you know, like I say during my live streams on Conductor Thursdays, I said, you know, and I shout out to Universal several times. I said, if anybody from Universal is watching this, you guys really, really need to focus on bringing something new, because we all know the Olympics are coming. It's going to bring people from all over the world.
And it's in Universal's backyard. It's in LA.
Exactly. And Universal is the exclusive studio that's going to be broadcasting it. So my problem is, if Universal, if you're telling all of us theme park fans, hey, you're going to get a roller coaster and you're probably going to get an on-site hotel and maybe security moved, that's not really beneficial. Yeah,
but
great.
No, and in order to, and I said this with Disney, in order to justify them building, because people were saying, oh, well, a Toy Story lot, you can build retail and entertainment like a Disney Springs and add a hotel.
Yeah.
If you're not building another park, there's no reason to have another hotel. Same with Universal. Maybe not a whole other park, but you got to ramp up the attraction count in order to justify staying on that property.
Well, see, that's what I was saying. You know, if like I said earlier, if Universal decides to bring back on the table, because I've talked to Wizard multiple times, he doesn't think Donkey Kong would come. He said basically from what he's heard, it's been scrapped. I told him, I said, I don't think the theme park industry, whether it's Disney, whether it's Universal, Six Flags, Knott's, just because they say or it leaks out they scrapped it, it's not really scrapped. Because if they need ideas to come up with something quick, they could just pull out of the scrap pile and put it together. And I'm not opposed to Donkey Kong coming. All I'm saying is you can customize it a little bit, but still have it where it's almost 95% a copy of Orlando's, of Japan's, but customize it a little bit where it's exclusive to Hollywood, whether it's a gift shop, the smallest things, a gift shop, a mini game. You know, you got, I was even talking about like almost like a Donkey Kong themed restaurant. There is so many ideas you can come up with that. Something exclusive, something that's going to, you know, raise the eyebrow of people and say, whoa, I need to go to Hollywood. I need to experience this. That's what they need to do. And if they're going to build Donkey Kong, which I think Universal Hollywood has the perfect opportunity to do so, because they've already made 2 replica lands. So they have the materials. They know what it's going to take to build the land. Why not start it? They could finish it before 2028. I have every reason to believe that.
No, they could. Universal builds fast, and Universal can get creative when they want to get creative. I mean, we're seeing it right now with the Fast and Furious. What's it called? Fast and Furious.
Hollywood Drift.
Hollywood Drift, right?
Yeah.
Look how they're incorporating that roller coaster into the landscape of Universal Hollywood, on the hill, going around the escalators, the whole thing. It's a very, very creative use of that space. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I agree with you. If you want to bring Donkey Kong to Hollywood, you can change the track layout. It's just a roller coaster. It's not, as long as you have the jump track effect, it doesn't really matter about the rest of the layout, I think, you know? I think it'll work, but we'll see. You know, Wizard's saying it's not, he's pretty much saying it's not coming. He doesn't think it will.
Well, he's hinted heavily that he has someone that works for Universal. He hasn't told me who it is. I don't blame him. But, you know, he's basically hinted that it won't come. But I told him, I said, never, ever, ever close the door. Because everyone said, oh, well, you know, Diagon Alley would never come to Hollywood. Yeah, it hasn't come yet, and it's been over 10 years. But why would they be moving the studio tour back down to the lower lot? And why would they be updating Hogsmeade with new lockers, a new ice cream shop that's been exclusive to Diagon Alley since the beginning in Orlando. Why would they pump money into rebuilding the stage and refurbing it? Why would they be doing all this stuff if they weren't considering adding more Harry Potter? The same thing goes with Nintendo. Why would they not? Why would they have that one section of colored blocks? Obviously, it's a backstaging area, but why would they do that if they weren't going to expand Nintendo? No. The same thing with the ice area. They're adding an element that Japan's version has had since it's opened. Why would they be doing that if they're shutting the door on Nintendo at Hollywood? Why would they be doing that? Exactly.
No, yeah, I agree with you. They're not shutting any doors. I think they're very bullish on Nintendo, and I think we will see some. I don't think it's a matter of if more Nintendo's coming to Universal Hollywood. I think it's a matter of what Nintendo is. So whether it's Donkey Kong, whether it's Pokemon, something Nintendo will come, I'm sure.
Absolutely. The one thing I will say that Hollywood could do, as you know, theme parks do during the holiday season, whether it's Halloween. I haven't seen any Halloween type theming for Nintendo, but I know Japan's version during Christmas, oh my God, it's like a whole new experience. I would like that to come to Hollywood, at least try to make some type of effort. I think they could do that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So we'll keep an eye on it. But I think this video from Dave is interesting because I do think there's some, I think the arguments he's making are valid, because I don't think Mario Kart as an attraction is strong enough to anchor a whole land. The demand drop off was kind of inevitable based on, like we were saying, it's a D, maybe D plus ticket, right? You put that e-ticket in there, put that WoW ride in there, whatever that might be. And I think we'll get a more consistent crowding in that land. I think that's what it's missing right now. It's basically Galaxy's Edge with Smuggler's Run. They need a Rise of the Resistance to just anchor that thing and really make it an A++ land. So we'll see, and I think they will. I really do.
Yeah. One thing I do want to add real quick before we end is the fact that I do think attention will be brought back to Hollywood, whether it's expanding Nintendo. I think they will do that once Epic Universe gets closer to completion and they're starting to do media previews and whatnot, because then at that point, that whole theme park will be done. They don't have to worry about it. Then they could put their focus back at Hollywood. That's what I think.
No, I think there's something to be said about that. And I think also with Epic, there's a lot of new stuff in that park. It's all new. Yeah. Well, pretty much all new, except for elements of Mario. But it's mostly all new. And they're going to look at what works and what resonates with fans at Epic. So let's say Dark Universe, which is personally my favorite thing I'm looking forward to in terms of Epic Universe. But let's just say that crushes it. Let's just say that's the home run hit of that entire park, right? Well, Universal will look at that and go, how do we bring this into Hollywood, right? So they're going to look at the chessboard and see what elements are working really well for Epic Universe and what can we bring here to Hollywood. So that's going to affect a lot too. So I think they are waiting. I think they will kind of see what works over there to bring it over here. So I think overall, I think Universal Hollywood has a very exciting future, bright future ahead of it. Obviously, we've been hearing about a hotel, other things. So they are definitely looking to expand on it. That's fantastic. But I do think they need to get on it a little bit, because I know they're doing the Hollywood Drift ride, but that's a completely different market than like Mario. I think they need like another like family thing in there pretty soon. Because that also plays to what we saw earlier with Dave's video, where Secret Life of Pets is consistently pulling numbers. Why is it pulling numbers? Everybody can go on that. You know, everyone is not going to go on Hollywood Drift. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going on that thing. Wizard will not convince me.
No, I don't think I'll convince you either.
No, you're not convincing me. You know what I'm saying? So, but awesome stuff. And we'll have Wizard on again. We'll have Wizard on again soon, and we can all talk Universal with him as well. Because I want to pick his brain with a lot of this stuff in terms of the permits and things like that. There's a lot of interesting things happening over there. And also, sorry. I do apologize. And also with that Hollywood Drift. But any closing thoughts?
Yeah, my closing thoughts are, and I'm going to talk a little bit on Conductor Thursday, is that I think Hollywood has a bright future. I think I think a little faith has dropped a little bit because of we all thought that the coaster was going to be done at the end of 2025 or even the summer of 2025, but due to the elements, it pushed it back 6 months. And then with all the permits and all that pushed it back a little bit. So I think if Universal wants to, like you said, if they want to get creative and they want to put the metal to the pedal, they will. So we'll just have to wait and see. Again, I'm going to be there on Thursday. I'm going to post pictures and do a video and possibly do a live stream there for a little bit. So I will be checking up on the coaster itself. It looks like they've added even more track from when I was there the other night. So hopefully what I'm hoping for is by December of this year, we will at least have half of the track installed, if not three-quarters of it. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Well, check it out. Conductor Thursdays, every single Thursday. I will be linking his live show at the end of this show. So make sure you check it out. Make sure you subscribe to Theme Park Conductor. Mr. Conductor, if you could remind everybody where they can find you on social media, sir.
Absolutely. So on YouTube, you can find me at Theme Park Conductor. Same thing on Instagram. On Twitter, known as X, you can find me at Theme Conductor, where I'm conducting that juicy, hot, steamy news for you guys and keeping it hot and steamy. So look out for that.
Hot and steamy, giggity, 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 right? And and since you're going for the whole conductor train thing,
Oh no! I must have hit that track switch!
there we go. Thank you all so much for watching this episode of OG55. He's Conductor. I'm OG.
Young blow, but I'm built like an OG.
And thank you so much for watching. Comment down below with all your thoughts on everything we discussed today. Fresh Baked video, which, by the way, Dave's video from Fresh Baked, I will be linking in the description. Make sure you check that video out and make sure you follow Dave. If you're watching us, I don't know how you are not subscribed to Fresh Baked, but if by chance you're not, then make sure you check it out and make sure you subscribe to him as well. He does great content. He really great stuff, in-park stuff. He does like studio stuff like we do. So check it out. But thank you all so much for watching this episode of OG55.
세상이 누구에게나 공평하게 추악해.